Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Unusual to start in the middle of the day, right? Um, yeah, and especially now since the time has moved, right? Because of the daylight saving. It is so bright and sunlit outside and so warm. It's almost summer basically, and I am inside a house and streaming. Well, no work would be done if if I was bending to the sun, to the sun's will, right? Okay, so yeah, let me just get ready and I'll be on the stream. Let's see. By the way, this is not going to be a very long stream, about 1 hour and a few minutes, because I don't actually have a lot of time today. Other obligations. Turn on the chat. Share stream. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, let me get the Twitch as well. This is the volume. Okay, it is. Cool. All right, I have my coffee. I have everything ready actually, so I'm just going to begin. Okay, so what did I create last time? Let me show you. Yeah, let's actually get ready for this. Whoops. Just a moment, sorry. Okay, here we go. So, welcome everybody to the 125th stream of Shakedown, and I'm continuing working in Kenya, but it is actually, well, it's not precisely working in Kenya because this is working on the engine stuff, on the game side, implementing stuff. Because on the last stream, I added per surface particle properties. And what are these? Well, they actually enabled me to change particle properties for different surfaces. And let me actually show you. I can go directly to Kenya. I don't have to load the example. So this is a beautiful mod. Oh no, I forgot to tag again. I'm sorry, HW Nathan. This is his mod, which is amazing. Just, it's perfect for Safari, perfect for Kenya. And he already made this mod. You can actually get it on my Discord, but I haven't finished Kenya track because I want to add a few things. I want to implement a few things. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm driving on this pink dust. This is like fesh, like very dusty ground, right? And that actually emits kind of pinkish, super long-lasting particles. As you can see, the particles are pinkish and they go on for 15 seconds, for up to 15 seconds. Well, there is a little bit of randomness to the lifetime, but it is basically that. And as you can see, when I'm driving on the grass, it looks completely different. It's the kick particles, the small ones, are kind of dark, and there's it's a different color to the particles, right? And if I go back to the pink ones, you can see that they emit pink particles. And yeah, and then you have, for example, on the mud, which we have a big patch of mud here. On the mud, there's basically no trails. There's no big, long-lasting particles because it's kind of wet. It's well, they do actually just last for like a second or so, or maybe even not even emit. I can't remember now. Maybe this is just mixing with other surfaces. Hello, I am watching. Very nice. Yeah, and as you can see, the surface, the kind of, you can only see these like kick particles, which you call them, which is just the kick particles are those that come out from each of the wheels. These little ones, as you can see, I call them kick because it's like a dust kick. And then the big ones that go on for a long time, I call them trail particles. So the trails and the kicks, my terminology, I don't know how they would be called in real life. Or if there is any terminology for that. So yeah, so as you can see, there's basically no trails. It's only the kicks, and they're very dark. They're very dark, and you can see that it's kind of dusty. But then when you go back onto the pink, you can see that there's a lot of trails, long-lasting, and yeah. So there you go. That is what I did in the last time per particle. Well, that's a nice roll. Not per particle, per surface parameters that you can change. And these parameters are actually, I can output them here in this UI. Well, let me actually just hide these things because we don't need them right now. But if I go into services, and I can say splats list, you can see that there is one splat collection, which is this Kenya, which is basically the road, right? And there's a mixture of soil, mud, grass, and red dust. Red dust is this. Grass is what you can see in the middle of tracks, like this is the grass thing. And then there are also mud. Mud is the dark one. And this one, this yellowish thing is actually the soil. So these four surfaces are being mixed. And the thing is that if you go to map based, right, it will actually output all the properties of this surface. As you can see, soil has a grip multiplier of 0.6. I don't know, the friction is 100. Oh, the friction is 100. I didn't even know that. So it has friction. Interesting. I thought it was not supposed to friction. But yeah, friction basically means that basically there's a negative force. There's a force in the opposite direction being applied to the car. So when you're going over something that slows you down, basically that's what it means. And here, if I look into mud, you can see that mud has, this is all the particle properties, right? Kick particles color, you can modify the color, and you can modify the trail, and you can, the trail particle color, and you can also modify the lifetime. And you can see that the lifetime of mud is actually 0, which means that it won't emit any trail particles when there's pure mud, right? And the red dust actually has a 15-second timeout of trail particles. So that is why they're so long-lasting. Okay, so what is the problem right now? The problem right now is that if I want to edit these things, I need to go into my I need to go into my map ini and edit it myself here, which is basically in here. I say surface soil, okay, kick particles, set this color. Lifetime, set it here. And this is how, and then I have to restart the map and check it out again. And the thing is that I don't actually need to do this, right? I could actually edit these in the UI, just like here. I don't need to output them. I can actually just change them in the GUI. So why don't I do that? Why don't I actually edit these directly? And then hopefully you can just say save map parameters and it will actually save these. So yeah, why not be able to edit right in the game and then I can test it out. And that would be pretty cool. So I thought, yeah, why not stream that? Why not add the UI for that on the stream? Okay, so instead of me just editing the text files, I'm gonna add these into the UI. Okay. Is that exhaust flames too? No, there are no exhaust flames right now, but I am planning to add them soon, by the way. Yes. Okay, so let me go and see what I wrote down here. So that's going to be the most important thing to do today. Remove the to-do. Oh yeah, there is one thing that I noticed yesterday when I was just reading the code. There was a to-do remove something. Oh yeah, let me actually start fork to see. There was like to do add disqualification instead. Okay. To do uncomment when reworking audio. No. I have a lot of to-dos here. Move to math. Remove when adding support for multiple splats, which I did on the last stream. I actually added, not on the last stream, but 2 streams ago, I actually added support for multiple splat materials. And what is going on here? Well, what I'm doing here is basically I'm replacing these splat surfaces with my channel map surfaces. But this only happens, yeah, this only happens once, right? But right now I'm actually doing this in for each wheel in the car. I'm actually replacing these splat surfaces and replacing all the values. So yeah, this is no longer inject splat surfaces to physics, I say here, but I already did that. Yeah, this is, I'm actually injecting this in the car itself. So when I'm raycasting, there it is. Yeah, there it is. So basically I replaced that with this, which happens every frame, every physics frame per wheel actually, because I detect which surface you're on, and then I replace the splat surfaces pointer for this one. And yeah, those are actually pointers. So yes, that's good. Hello, block spiders. I think it was the tail lights glowing, illuminating the dust. Yeah, that seems right. Well, the flames would be super. Yeah, that was, yeah, the tail lights do illuminate particles. And there's even actually, shadow being cast onto the particles, but it's really hard to see. Yeah, but yeah, definitely there is. If I turn on the lights, well, you can see the lights actually on this. You can see the front lights. But yeah, if I go onto the dusty parts and if I turn around, you can actually see. Oh, there it is. You can see that it's being lit. Well, that's actually great. And there's actually shadow from the car. Well, it's very, very light and there's not enough particles, but it's actually funny that I got flipped because you can even see it more easily. Yeah, but if I turn around, and you can see that the headlights are actually illuminating the particles, which is nice if it's dark. I can make it be dark. Scene uniforms. Let's make it black so that you don't see anything. Wow, imagine this. Night in Kenya. There, you can see the particles being illuminated. So yeah, everything Yeah, that would be, it would be actually fun to do, yeah, it just gave me an idea to do fog with particles. I could just place some particles everywhere and that would act like fog. Yeah, that would probably be expensive for the GPU, but why not? Too bad this mod doesn't have rear lights. Oh, it has brake lights, but not rear lights. Like you can't see the red. Anyway, this is actually a lot harder to drive like this. Yeah, and there you go. Anyway, yes, that was the color from the rear lights. Okay, so since I'm doing this, I'm gonna just remove that. But let's see, what was I doing here? Did I change anything? Life factor. Oh, I fixed this actually. I fixed this problem here. That the life factor should have. Please. Yeah, just give me a moment. I have to answer something. Yeah, sorry for this. Just a moment. Um, okay, sorry for that. Now throw in some elephants. That is planned as well. Yes, but not for the first version of not for the first version of Kenya. Yeah, I won't do that. I won't do that yet. Yeah. Wow, says Greybeard Wolf. Thank you, I guess. Yeah, but I do plan to add a little bit of a few animals. I don't know yet exactly how to implement it, but I have some ideas. Okay. So build number, yeah, I'm actually going to improve do that as well. Let's submit. I'm not going to submit Kenya. Okay, build number, everything is here. Fixed issue with particle lifetimes. Yeah, let's say that. And let me just remove this and let's see if that actually changes anything. Set the grass particle color from map. Yeah, this is where I am. Yeah, this is something that I added actually yesterday because I also need to set particle colors of everything else that is not a splat, right? And I need to get that because here's the thing. I make everything grass. But the problem is that in Sweden, everything else that's not track is not actually grass, right? It's deep snow. So I actually have to define that in the map ini file as well. So, but this is just a temporary solution because I actually finally want to do some how do you call it? Oh, this is actually not a debug yet. It kind of is slow. Yeah, this is just a test, by the way, test map for splats, so that I can see if whether the splats work. Yeah, you can see that there's a little bit of brownish here, and there's a little bit of bluish and no trails, and in white for the snow, and then it goes into sort of dusty, and then finally there is a little reddish dust here, right? So that is how it should be. But this is all edited with, manually through surfaces, through the map ini file. And I want to move that into the UI. Hello, Roundlay. Nice to see you. Yeah, so everything seems to be okay. So I'm just gonna submit that. Well, let's say cleanup of unused. Let's do that. And the thing is that let's do, what's the next thing? Yeah, removed, done. Add in-game material particle color picker. Yes, so one of the first things that I actually want to add is that for each of the surfaces, I want to have a color picker so that I don't have to, edit it in the files. And so basically what I need to do is I need to go through all the surfaces and I actually need to edit. So where am I editing all the things, all the surfaces? I need to find surfaces. There it is, collapsing header surfaces. So this is where I have this tree node, which shows where this drop down that I reveal, and then it shows all the splats and everything. And yeah, if I say hard coded, then it outputs. So right now I have the output, but I don't have the way to edit it. So I'm thinking whether I should add this into a function inside surfaces or not. Oh my god, even this is annoying. Okay, anyway, I have to remove vibration as well. Okay, anyway, what I was saying is that yeah, should I add a function in here so that I can imgui. Okay, so this has imgui, which means that I can actually add the edits. Yeah, okay, let me actually add this. So this is my surface class, and this is where I actually output everything, every property. And this just outputs as text. That's the thing. That is the one that you have actually seen in game. So this code is actually this. When I say surfaces and I say splats list, no, not splat list, but map based. This output here, this text is this code, this exact code. But I want the equivalent of this, but as editable. So with all the sliders, with the color pickers and everything. So let's make that. I'm going to add a new function, and I'm going to say I don't know, draw GUI or editable GUI. Yeah, draw GUI or something like that. And I think it's not going to be const because I'm actually going to edit this. And yeah, let me actually start with drawing a slider. So I'm going to do a color. No, is there a color edit 3 or color edit 4? Let's do a color edit 3. And this one is going to be kick particles color, and it's going to point into molds kick particles color. Okay, hopefully that will work. Oh, and of course this actually takes a float, a pointer to a float, the first float in a line. So I'm going to just make it 0. Because that's how C++ does it. Since it doesn't have types, it's weakly typed, sort of, so you just point into the first float. And I'm going to do same thing for trail particles color, and exactly do the same thing. And you know what? Let's also edit the lifetime, since we're there. And I'm going to do imgui float drag float, and let's do a trail particles lifetime, and we're gonna edit the mults trail particles lifetime. There we go. Okay, so when I call this draw GUI, it is, you know what, let's say draw editable GUI, because then it's much more clear what this is doing. Yeah, so instead of these hard-coded, instead of these map-based, let's actually add a tree pop. Should I add editable or something? Surf output. Surf output. Yeah, let's actually put it after this. No, let's put it as a separate thing. Let's just call it map-based editable. And I'm going to go through each of the surface, and I'm going to say draw editable. What is the name of it? Draw editable GUI? No. Why doesn't it work? Draw editable GUI. This is not. Did it not draw? What? Why doesn't it show up? Strange. It did not compile yet. Did I save it? I did save it. So why is it not showing up? Did I put it after? No, this is the closing of this. Okay, there's something weird. Maybe it didn't yet recognize that it exists. IntelliSense is really running slow lately. I don't know why. But yeah, let's see. Surface. Is this in the surface? It is in the surface, right? Surface data. Yeah, surface data. There it is. Okay, so I don't know why it doesn't happen. Yeah. Okay. Map-based editable. Yeah. Let's try compiling, even though the IntelliSense reports an error. Okay, cannot convert this pointer. Did I? Cannot convert this pointer. What? 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 The object has type qualifiers that are not compatible with the member function. Object type is const surface data. It's not. Oh, I see. It's because I put a const. Okay, yeah, I actually need to make it editable. That's the problem. That's why it didn't show up. Oh, okay. So actually, Visual Studio is smart, because when you have a const, it doesn't even show you editable things. But it would be actually nice if it was grayed out or something. Now it shows up. I see. So it's actually trying to help you, but it's not helping me. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so let's see if we can edit these properties now. If this is a CPP variant, what's the FN keyword? It is CPP. I just typed it. No, this is it. It's just define FN auto. That's what it is. It's just auto. But yeah, I have this types thing that I use for things. It's like my style, because I was also coding a lot in Zig, and I kind of liked the FN for functions. So it's more clear to me that, okay, this is a function when it says FN, and that's why. That's the only reason. But it's basically just auto, right? So it's going to figure out what's the auto. I have this lambda thing as well, but I actually never use it. I just use const FN for lambdas. And I have this implicit cast2 and implicit cast2 when I create operators and stuff. I use this one a lot. As static cast type value is way too long. I prefer as, which is also Zig inspired, because Zig has @as, and then you put a type and then the value. And bitcast is a reinterpret cast, so it's basically going to cast as it's in the bits. So so you can cast it into something else. But bitcast is also something that Zig calls it. I have these, but I actually don't like them anymore. I have these usings for like stir is a string, but to be honest, I prefer std string because it's much more clear, and I prefer const std string and string view. Even though it's too long, I hate it. I absolutely hate. But std string is just far more clear than anything else. And span, sometimes use span, but yeah, these are some things that I much prefer than using the unsigned, signed, and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, so it's kind of like it's not a variant of C++. It's just a few corrections I made in my code. Nice and readable like Zig. Yeah. But yeah, it's just an auto. It could have been a void or auto, right? So anyway, let's see. So yes, what was I talking about? Yes, I was actually testing out. Oh, it's building again. Great. I was actually trying to test the colors. If you've tried Odin as well, at all, I have. Yeah, everybody asks me this, actually. I have tried it maybe a year ago, and there were a few things I didn't like about it. And so, I don't know, I think I like Zig's simplicity, and I like the consistency of Zig a lot more than Odin. Like, I think that Odin makes a lot of compromises for readability, and I don't know, but I just felt much more at home with Zig, and it made it felt much more understandable, and I don't know, but I don't know. I haven't tried Odin for a year, so I don't know if the LSP has improved and stuff. But yeah, maybe I should try it again. Anyway, where was I? Yes, let's see if this works now. So let's go into, why is this always changing positions? Oh, I think maybe I didn't launch it before. Okay, so anyway, particles, no, not particles, surfaces. Okay, map-based editable, there it is. Okay, cool, we have all the colors. We have all the colors, except that I don't really see any difference. So, I don't even know what they are. So this is definitely red dust, right? So let's see if editing actually works, because I know that this is red dust because it's the only one that has a reddish color, right? So let me actually change it. Wait a minute, it can't. Oh, it's actually changing everything. Oh, but okay, it does work. Changing colors works, but the problem is that they all have the same names. So ImGUI uses names as an ID. That's the problem. So I actually may need to make my custom IDs, for this. And the way you do this, is you need to put because for anything that is a handle, it's going to think it's the same thing if it has the same name. So you actually have to put like a hash number or something which is usually what makes it work. But I have to remember actually how to do this. Can you how did I do this in the main? Because I have the same problem with assets. To be able to show the assets, I'm actually changing the ID of it. I'm changing the ID of assets. Curious. Oh yeah. I need to. Oh, that's actually in the engine. It's actually in the engine, not print. Engine CVP. Okay, so here's the GUI assets. Okay, count capacity invalid. Where am I actually assigning it to a different indices? Push style color shaders and materials properties. There's definitely a way when I'm showing stuff. When I'm showing objects, for example, where are the objects? Scene, okay. Scene, there it is. Oh, I'm actually creating a string every frame. Great, not the best, but you know, for this thing, it's not the game. It's not in the game, so it's gonna be okay anyway. Yeah, ID. I'm creating an ID here, and then I'm adding an ID to this. Yeah, and I have to add the ID to everything. So yeah, this is a garbage fest. Not garbage. Well, there's no garbage in C++, in the sense of garbage collector doesn't exist, but it is still allocations for no reason. So yeah, you do need to add this into the tag. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just do that. I'm just gonna do that because that's a quick solution. It would be cool to be able to have some kind of a better way to do this. But yeah, anyway. Draw editable GUI. But the thing is that it needs to work for each of the materials. So how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? First off, I do need to edit output the name, right? So surface, okay, there it is. I'm just gonna put that. Editable GUI. Okay, so I have the text first, and then you know what? I'm gonna indent just as I did this. I'm gonna indent and I'm gonna unindent. Let's not forget to unindent. Okay, and now we have the ID, the user defined literal operator not found. std string. Let's just do it like this. But I should actually just include literals. Why not? Let's see. What was it? It was using. How does this work? Using std literal. Yeah, there it is. Using namespace. Okay. I'm gonna add that to the surface. Okay, to here. Using namespace std literals. Now it works. Okay. So what is the I going to be? I'm going to have to pass some kind of an I here. And then I can use that to create the ID. Is there actually a more efficient way to do this? I don't know. Is there a way to like push ID? Wait a minute. You can actually push an ID. Const char ID begin, ID end, but it still requires an ID, which is funny. push ID. Yeah, maybe there's a way to avoid strings with push IDs. Let's try to do that. Oh yeah, let's actually push I, and then I'm gonna pop ID at the end. Let's try to do this instead of doing this thing. Okay, so now I actually have to pass in, when I'm drawing, I need to pass my index. Where is it? Editable, GUI. Yes, the problem is I don't have an I. So int I is 0, and I'm gonna just I++. Okay, and let's just pass it in here. Okay, let's see if this works. Without defining strings. Okay, so anyway, let's try it. Particles, no, not particles, surfaces. Splats list, map-based editable. There it is, and it actually works. Okay, so I didn't really need. I don't need to do that string-based making. That is interesting. Okay, so you can just push and pop IDs. Nice. Nice. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's see. If I edit this one, I make it red. There it is. It's so red. It's so red. It's crazy red. But yeah, the cool thing is I can now edit these as I wish, and they're actually going to change. Cool. There's black, there's white, and the nice thing is I can also edit the length. Oh, this shouldn't be minus. This shouldn't be minus. Okay, yes, there it is. It's a lot quicker now, which is pretty cool. Okay, so kick particles. Yeah, great. But the problem is now that I can't actually save this. So once I relaunch this, right? If I try it again, it's just not going to be saved. It's going to be back onto the maps. So I actually need a way how to save it as well, which is another problem, right? I could just copy it from here or something, but that's not great. Copy as. Aha, you can actually copy it like this. But no, let's actually save it. Let's actually be able to save into the map parameters from here. Map-based editable. Yeah, and since here's the thing. Since I'm here, right? Since I can already edit the particles, why not add all the other parameters, right? Why not also add everything else, like here? But since I'm going to repeat this a lot of times, let's do a little macro, just like I did here. And I'm going to call this surf edit. Like that. Okay, and I'm gonna replace it with a drag float, and I think it's gonna be always clamped to 0, right? I think so. So wait, let me see. What is can there be a minimum? Speed is 1, minimum is gonna be 0, 0, and that's it. I can do a full to maximum here. Full to max if I want to do the whole range. I think none of the values go below 0, but I'm not actually sure. I think most of them don't. Okay, so I'm actually going to replace this, and I'm going to say define. I'm going to take this, and this is going to be hash x, and this is going to be at x, right? I think so. And that's basically it. So I can replace this with surf edit, and I can just say mults trail particles lifetime. So reduced the what I need to draw, what I need to write with a little macro. I'm also going to cleanly undefine this. Surf edit. And yeah, this, by the way, the hashtag here is stringification. So you can actually, in the macro, you can convert a string, you can convert any input into a string. So this is what it's going to say in the output. And since we're here, we can just do everything else. Oh, there is a text here for particles. Let's just do here particles as well. Particles params. And I can basically copy the whole thing until emit particles, and I'm going to put it over here, but I'm going to replace this with surf edits like this. And these are audio params, and these are particle params, and surf edit. And I think this is it. I have the particles, which are, okay, imgui, and I have to push this ID before. There we go. Hopefully this is it. So now I should be able to edit all the multipliers. Well, here's the thing. This one is probably too much. And I should probably have it to 0, 1 as default. But the minimum maximum should definitely be this. All right. Yeah, is there anything that I need a grip from 0 that makes sense? Tire C multiplier. Maybe this could go below 0, but I'm not sure. Steer multiplier definitely not below 0. Friction definitely not. Audio multipliers definitely not. Emitting particles definitely not below 0. Yeah, everything should not be below 0. Okay, and I can group these two together. There we go. Okay, let's see. Why does it say blended here? Draw editable GUI. Name empty. Oh, because if the name is empty, it's actually, I see. But yeah, for these surfaces that I can edit, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so now all the parameters should be editable. Let's see if that works. If that works, I'm gonna then work on saving the parameters into map.ini. Did I actually write that into save the map file? Yeah. So add in-game material particle color picker, done. Add, since we're there, surface properties to GUI, basically done, but let's just test. Let's see, surfaces, map-based editable, voila, look at that, we have all of them. It is very chaotic, but it does work. So let's see, let's find Snowy gravel. Yeah, for example, this is ice, right? Ice is extremely slippery. But let's make ice a lot more grippier. So ice grip multiplier is, let's increase it. Yeah, there. So now it's 2. And there it is. It's like ice is now super grippy actually. Perfect. Okay, so you can change this at runtime now. You can change all the parameters, and we can set it to 0 even. We can set it to 0, and now there's absolutely no grip. And we can even make it sound like tarmac, which is funny. Yeah, ice now sounds like tarmac. Nice. Okay, so yeah, there it is. We can change all the parameters. Done. And finally, I want to be able to save this to GUI, so to the map. How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Well, once you actually save bindings, save load bindings. Okay, let's find the menu. Toolbar. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so how do I actually do this? Save car parameters. Save map parameters. Map config save. So I'm basically doing this thing. And oh, it is in the config wrapper, which I cannot do with yes. So I can't actually do this. I'm going to have to wrap this somehow. Yeah, or maybe I'm gonna, okay, let's just do a separate thing for now. So for the particles, not for the particles, but for the map-based, let's add a button somewhere that says save in GUI. Let's just do a button that says save to map ini. Okay. And if this is pressed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the ini. I can do that with map config. Is it map config? Oh yes, CFG. Yeah, file is the ini file. So I need to grab, yeah, if I say load, what happens there? What happens in the load? I think this is the config wrapper. Assert CFG load from file. Yeah, and it takes the file. But I'm actually going to create a new structure from the file. Config file. Any structure, I need to remember. Config file. Okay, do I have map config file read? Right, I need to open the read. Map config file dot read, I think it is. Okay, please, IntelliSense work. Okay, and I need to provide an ini structure, which I'm going to create a new one. Ini structure. Come on. Come on. It is called, what is it? Ini? Oh yeah, it is mini, I think. Man, why is IntelliSense so slow today? Not today, but actually for a few weeks already. Ini structure, and I'm gonna say map ini. No, let's just do ini, and I'm gonna read the ini. And if the file is open, I'm gonna say ini dot, and then we have, yeah, we basically need to parse from this one. So I'm gonna do my own things, ntk parse try parse. Yeah, I have NTK ini, and then I have things here to parse. Come on. What the why is it so slow? It is extremely annoying. Anyway, yeah, so basically I need to now, for each of the surfaces, I need to save them into the ini file. And how do I really do that? That's the issue. Do I have surface some kind of... No, I don't. Draw editable GUI. I don't have a way how to input them. So where am I actually unpacking them? I need to find where I'm unpacking them. Where am I? Oh, there it is. There it is, actually. This is where I'm taking... yeah, this is basically the same thing. I'm reading from the ini for each of the segments of items. Yeah. Okay, if it starts with surface, I need to find it. So I'm actually doing this manually. I'm doing this completely manually. I'm doing this completely manually. Loading surface parameters. Okay, maybe I should add this into a lambda so that I can use it later. This thing is in a scope, in a separate scope. Hello, Narwhal channel. Just memory dump the config contents, job done, and wait for the support tickets. Yeah. Exactly. But no, I'm not gonna do that. The problem with this approach, though, yeah, I mean, this is also a problem with C++ because it doesn't really have static reflection or anything, which the Zig does, which is cool. I could be... In Zig, you could just go through each of the fields and just make a thing. But here, I have to make it manually for everything. Okay, let's do a lambda, actually. I'm going to say... save surface parameters, and this is going to be a how does it go? It goes like this. Okay, so basically the only thing that I'm going to capture here is, oh, it shouldn't have a that. Starts with splat. Found splat. Okay. And I'm basically going to do this. Default map bias. And then I'm going to go through each of the segments and then check a surface. Jesus. So much work. So much work needs to be done. Okay. So I create an ini. I have the map config. Yes, I read the ini, and then I take the this I don't need. For each of the segments and items, I need to... Can this be const, by the way? Segment items. Can I make this const here? I think so, because nothing is getting saved. Yes, perfect. Okay, so I can just read this. But here I do need to change it. So for each of the segmented items, items is a map of strings. So if it starts with the surface, yeah, I need to get the what? Surface data surf. So here's the thing. I actually need to loop through all the surfaces as well. Yeah, I need to find a matching name. That's the thing. I need to find a matching name as well. So I'm not going to add a surface. Instead, if it starts with a surface, I need to get a string. Segment substr8. So I'm going to create a string, okay? And then I'm going to loop through all the surfaces that I have in the map. Surf name, let's call it. I'm gonna loop through all the surfaces. This is terrible. I just realized this is awful, but actually, is it going to have the same sequence? Maybe it is. Okay, let's first make it safe. Okay, I'm gonna go through each of the surfaces, right? Surface. What is the name of it? Surfaces. Game. No, it's actually splat surfaces. Where do I get the splat surfaces from? Splat surface maps. Oh, wait, I actually have a map of splat surfaces, which is a string, right? Splat surface maps. Yes. Oh no, that's a map. That's not a map of a name. That's actually a collection of surfaces. Yeah. So for this one, I am actually going to need to have... Oh, wait, map surfaces. I do have them mapped. My gosh. Okay, I do have them mapped to names, which is perfect. So what I actually need to do is I simply get the surface from this map, unordered map. That's actually perfect. Okay, so I need to get a surface. And this surface is going to be from, what is it called? Map surfaces. And I'm going to get it through the surf name. And there it is. It should be perfect. But I'm going to assert that map surfaces contains, contains surf name. Okay, let's assert that. Right, just in case, before I get this. And we can actually make this const, because it doesn't need to return an editable version. Okay, so for each of the so now that we have the surface, I don't need to loop through all the surfaces. I do have to close these ifs. Wait, is this the end of lambda? Yeah, it is. Okay, and most importantly, it's already 6 o'clock. I missed a call. Okay, it was an accidental call, looks like. Should also charge my phone a bit. Car game. Hello, CX Links. Car game. Yeah, I don't know what that meant. It is a car game, yes. Okay, so reading the ini for each of the segments, I need to match that starts with segment. If starts with surface, it is a surface. This is what I mean, by the way. I'm not even explaining anything. But yeah, these are the segments of the config, right? If they start with surface, I grab the name, the identity, right? I grab the name, which is this thing, right? Which becomes surf name, substring of 8. And then I make sure that it exists. And then what I do is I grab the surface, and now I need save it. So I need to be able to save it into the file. How do I save things? It's not parse, it's actually save. Do I just save by not parsing but just doing like what is it, in a like how do I actually set things? I need to remember config utils. Parse is for parsing, but how do I save things? Write table to config. Okay, when I'm writing, I'm simply getting a section name and putting a name, and an std to string. So, well, basically, any segment item. No, it's not the items, but segment, and then and then basically I need names. So they're gonna be grip mult and stuff like that. So grip mult equals mults dot grip mult, right? But I need a surface grip mult. Mults grip mult. There it is. And then finally, after I do all of them, I have to save it. So I read the ini, and after reading everything, I have to do after reading, I have to save it as well. Save. Write. Okay. Write, and I get the ini, so it gets overwritten. And hopefully that is it. Inline bool. Pretty false. Pretty should be true, no? Map config file write. I think so. I think this is the thing. Car game indeed. Yeah. So let's see. So I have to add all of these now as well. So I'm just gonna reuse the macro again. Awful. I know awful. I know it's awful, but it actually makes it a little bit less painful to write it, to have to rewrite everything. Or maybe I should just not use macros. Let's skip the macros. Okay. Let's just copy everything and make mistakes doing that. I have steer mult. I have friction. I have tarmac audio mult. I have gravel audio mult. I have emit particles. Okay. I have emit particles. Let's separate that, and that's going to be part of particles. And this is audio. Let's also split the audio. Audio, particles, and then we have kick particles color, which is actually a vector. So I need to save the vector somehow. I need to remember this. How do I do this? How do I do a vector? How do I save a vector? Config utils. Okay, so when I'm saving in my configs list, when I have a vector 3, but save. Okay, there it is. Vector 3, vector string. Okay, I actually have a vector string here. What is this get doing? Get type. Oh, I'm just unpacking the type. NTK vector string. Okay. So emit particles, and And then I have cake particles color. I have trail particles color. And I have, oh, tire C-molt is a different thing. Then I have trail particles lifetime, and then finally I have the tire C-molt, which is not in the molds. Okay, so now I have to do this. I have to copy these, steer, friction, tarmac audio, gravel, emit particles, and now the color needs to be converted, not to float, needs to be converted to vector string. NTK vector string. There it is. And we have to do a trail lifetimes. Yeah, trail lifetime is a float again. So we're going to have the same thing. This is also going to be the same thing. Wait, let me do it like this. Equals surface molds trail particles lifetime, and this is going to be surface molds tire C-molt. No, that's going to be weights tire C-molt. Okay, there it is. Okay, so hopefully this is it. Hopefully there's no issues. And I actually have to go in like 2 minutes, basically. Segment surface substring contains. Yeah, I'm just asserting here and then just reading for each of the segments: grip mold, steer mold, friction, audio, emit particles, cake particles color, trail particles lifetime. There we go. All right. I think this is pretty much it. Save surface parameters, but now I have to call it as well. So yeah, I'm just going to call this, and that's the end of lambda. Why don't lambdas finish in the same line? I don't understand. But well, that's how it's done. Why doesn't it also show my if this is the correct? Visual Studio used to do this. Oh, there it is. Okay, you have to select the whole thing, but for some reason it doesn't show this one. Okay, it does. And this one is the ending, or not. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that should work. Yeah, but finally I actually need to just, instead of reading this, I'm gonna save, what is it, parameter, save service first. Jesus, what is wrong with my tongue? Save surface parameters. Okay, there we go. So yeah, let's see if this is going to work. Let's submit this to fork. Surface, okay. Editable GUI. Editable GUI for surface parameters. And let's see what is going on with this one. Something is happening. It's running the game. Running the game. Here we go. Okay, let's see. So particles rendering. Let's see. We have a shadow multiplier. We don't need a shadow multiplier. We have the why is this up again? Okay, we have the surfaces. Map-based editable. Let's change the grip multiplier of soil to something absurd and just save. Yeah, the button is actually at the bottom. Save to map ini. There it is. Okay, did it work? I have no idea. Okay, let's there it is. Oh no, something has happened. Why is it not showing? Why is it not showing here? Did it save it? Did it save? What is wrong? Why is it not showing the diff? What happened? What happened to the file? Usually it shows the diff, but for some reason it's also a lot bigger. So there's something wrong. There's something wrong here. Okay, is this the one? No, this is not the one. It's actually the splat map. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay. It doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work? Because I'm setting floats to strings. And this all needs to be strings. Yeah, that's C++ for you guys. It's beautiful, isn't it? C++ is just beautiful. Yeah, you can't just assign a float to a string. You have to turn it into a string. ToString. Do you have to do a ToString? I think so. But I think I need to do an NTK to string. No, I think I have a float string, str, float, parse floats to str. I think I actually, this is my own toStr, which does not returns string without trailing zeros and commas. Yes. So this is my own version of toStr, basically. Let's actually alias this, if I can. Can I str toStr? Of course not. Of course you can't alias it. But I can, of course, just do using NTK str. Okay, and hopefully that's gonna be using namespace. Right, so now I don't have to write the whole thing. ToStr. Okay, and then I have to do it for the whole thing. That's why making a macro is much better. I should have made a macro instead. Yeah, great. Okay, let's just do this. Emit to 10 to 10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. All right. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully it's gonna work now. Oh yeah, by the way, I do have to unkill this. Not unstage. Not only do I have to unstage, I have to discard. There it is. Okay. So hopefully it didn't start yet. The game didn't start yet. That's good. Okay. All right. Oh my God! It's already 6:15. Okay, I have to run. I have to run. Okay, let's see. Surfaces, maps-based, editable, grip multiplier, and I'm gonna save. I'm gonna use the button save. Let's see. Did it work? It changed a lot of things. It changed a lot of things, but there it is. Grip multiplier has increased. Okay, so it removed some of the spaces and shit. So, it has actually made them next to the equal sign as well. I don't know, it is a little bit weird. Okay, it has removed the trailing zeros and stuff. But yeah, it is actually correct, right? What is this? I think this is just a difference. This is just a diff, right? Yeah, so it does work. Great. There we go. Yes. Amazing. It works. Yeah. So anyway, See you next time. I have to run. Beautiful car flying. It's really nice that we can actually edit now all the surface parameters in game. That's going to help me a lot working on maps in the future, and of course for modders to make their own surfaces. Cool. So yeah, see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.